A lot of activity down in the tropics. Hurricane Irma promises to leave a lasting mark on the state of Florida, where U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Sonny Perdue will visit tomorrow. He's going to assess damage to the Sunshine State's lucrative farming industry and the impact that it will have across the country and on your wallet. Florida's Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam joins us now. Also will be there with Sonny Perdue during that visit. First things first, sir. That track of tropical storms soon to become Hurricane Maria. How much for you all in Florida is this a race against time to get things, at least in some way, buttoned up before you have a potential impact from Maria?
Well, it brings back memories of 2004 when we had Charlie, Francis, Ivan, and Jean all cross our state in about a 10-week period of time. You have thousands of tons of debris on the ground that could become a projectile if a new hurricane were to come into the state. Oak trees, pine trees, all of the limbs that are down, construction debris, roofs. It is a major mess in the state of Florida right now, and we certainly hope that Maria will find a different path.
I think there is a lot of prayers behind you guys when it comes to Maria finding a different path. Let's get to the destruction from Irma. So much in the past week we've heard it's bad, but it could have been a lot worse in terms of the destruction depending on Irma's path. Does that hold true for the agricultural industry there in Florida, or did you all have a pretty serious blow?
Well, unfortunately for Florida agriculture, the path really couldn't have been much worse. It came ashore right in the middle of the end of the peninsula and drove up the very nearly the center of the state, dramatically impacting, devastating the citrus industry. There are groves underwater, the landscape and nursery industries, greenhouses on the ground, sugarcane laid over, and vegetable fields completely destroyed. There's nothing more frustrating, I think, than for someone who's standing in ankle-deep water in their living room to be told it could have been a lot worse. But certainly the coastal communities did not get the direct hit that we had feared they would get. But that interior path hitting the heartland of Florida did do very catastrophic harm to Florida's agricultural economy, which is the second largest industry.
Put that in context for the rest of the country. As we all watch these pictures, your heart breaks for people who have lost their homes and who need to go through cleanup. But at the same time, all politics is local. For folks in Iowa and New Hampshire and in Texas and in California or in Idaho, how does this affect them in the grocery store when it comes to the crops you just mentioned?
Well, a lot of the winter fruits and vegetables that Americans consume are grown in Florida. This means that as you go into the holiday season, they're going to have fewer opportunities to buy American produce. They're going to be dependent on imports from other countries that compete with American farmers. It means that prices are likely going to rise. Certainly when you look at the orange juice crop potentially being half of what it was expected to be, you're going to see upward pressure on orange juice prices. Your vegetable prices, green beans, tomatoes.
Especially when it comes to orange juice, because that's a commodity that's traded. Have we seen futures go up? Have we seen these prices have we seen the impact of Irma get priced in yet, or not yet?
I can't imagine that you've seen it fully priced in yet, because we haven't fully evaluated just how bad it is. We know that there are groves that are still underwater. We know that there are groves where 90% of the fruit has hit the ground. And this is fruit that's still really 2 months from having reached maturity. So there's no salvaging the fruit that's on the ground. And with Florida's heat, it's already rotting. And this is an industry that had already been buffeted by disease, citrus greening, that has reduced the size of Florida's signature crop by 70% over the last 20 years.
Mr. Commissioner, there is few harder lives than that of a farmer, and this, as you point out, does not make it any easier for the folks who you serve in your job. Obviously, as you pointed out as well, our prayers are that Hurricane Maria finds a different path. Adam Putnam of the Florida Agriculture Commission, you are the commissioner, sir. Appreciate you being here as the secretary.